Welcome to Curt and Paul Discuss. I'm your host, Paul Chappell, and it finally happened, folks. It finally happened. After being teased for multiple seasons on shows like Entourage, we finally got the elusive Aquaman movie. And I have to say, I really enjoyed it. This film totally knew what it wanted to be. It was an action-packed adventure directed by James Wan of Furious 7 fame. And it had all the right elements, a lot of spectacle, a lot of CGI, but the good kind of CGI, not the bad kind of CGI. Had great actors. We had alumni basically from a bunch of franchises. We had William Dafoe, who played Green Goblin in the Spider-Man movies. Patrick Wilson, who played the Owl in the Watchman movie. We got Dolph Lundgren of He-Man and Rocky fame. We had Temuera Morrison, who played Jango Fett in the Star Wars movies. Even Nicole Kidman was in Batman Forever. So we had alumni from all the major superhero franchises and pretty good acting, I have to say. Great directing by James Wan. I never felt like I was watching something from an amateur. The pacing was good. There was so many just great things about it. There was so much action, so much action. I mean, there were so many explosions in this film. I'm pretty sure that Michael Bay is going to go and watch this film, and he's probably going to be like, "Hey guys, y'all need to tone this down, or else he'll be giggling like a little schoolgirl." But if I have to criticize anything about this film, I just have to say it's one of those movies where if you stop to think about it for any length of time, it becomes a little bit absurd. I mean, that kind of comes with the territory. It is a superhero movie, so you gotta have to grade it on the curve. But from the get, you know, I kind of felt that way about this movie because in the opening scene, you see Nicole Kidman playing Queen Atlanta. Sounds like Atlanta when people are actually saying her name. But she's playing Queen Atlanta, and she washes up on the shore with a kind of a wound in her torso. And you find out that she's trying to escape an arranged marriage to Tom Cruise. And I mean, not Tom Cruise, to the to the king of Atlantis. She's trying to escape this arranged marriage, and she washes up on the shore of a beach next to a lighthouse. And of course, she falls in love with the keeper of the lighthouse, Temuera Morrison's character, Tom Curry. And they live a happy little life for many years afterwards. They have a son who turns out to be Arthur Curry, Aquaman, played by Jason Momoa. But from right here is where I started having a problem, because it just occurred to me, if you're trying to escape from an advanced seafaring kingdom, that you probably want to move more than 5 feet away from the ocean. I mean, that's just me. I mean, if I felt like maybe, relocating to, a big city like San Diego or wherever this lighthouse happened to be. I think it was actually on the Atlantic Ocean. So wherever it is, going to Miami, some big city would be more plausible than actually living in a lighthouse 5 feet from the ocean. So right off, I kind of had a problem with some of the interior logic, but it did not destroy my enthusiasm for the film, because like I said, as soon as you got to the point where you were thinking about something, James Wan was throwing an explosion in your face or an action scene. There was lots of action scenes, believe me. And, the general plot of the film was kind of simple. Basically, you've got King Orm, played by Patrick Wilson. He's plotting to take over the land based civilizations, and he wants to unite the seafaring nations. And to do this, he has to kind of engineer kind of a false flag operation where he's attacked by a submarine, and that kind of sets things off. And you see an early scene with Aquaman. He's trying to save this submarine that's being hijacked by pirates who happen to be working for King Orm. Anyway, it's kind of complicated in that particular instance, but I won't bore you with the details. Aquaman gets enlisted to help overthrow King Orm because his betrothed, played by Amber Heard, her name is Mira, the redhead you see in most of the trailers, showing a lot of cleavage. I could probably watch a movie just with Amber Heard walking around. She's that radiant in the film. But anywho, getting back to the plot, she kind of wants to overthrow the king because she doesn't feel like a battle with the surface dwellers is going to be good for anybody. And she has convinced Aquaman to join her on her crusade in overthrowing him because he finds out, his half brother. Because early in the film, his mother goes back to living with the Atlanteans after they sent a group of men to capture her and bring her back. So you have a little bit of the plot from the Black Panther. Kind of resembles that movie. It kind of resembles Indiana Jones because there's a little bit of side plot involving the Seaworld desert. I won't spoil that too much, but it involves this little golden trident thingy. So anyway, I won't bore you with the details. The movie was a good movie. It was entertaining. Perhaps a little bit too long in the end. I felt like they could have shaved maybe 10 to 20 minutes, maybe cut out a couple little side plots that they had going on. But like I said, it did not, kill my enjoyment for the film. But, getting back to one of the implausibilities, I felt like Aquaman himself was a little bit too overpowered. In an early scene in the movie, you see bullets bouncing off his chest, and a character even fires a rocket-propelled grenade at Aquaman, and it doesn't even faze him. He just brushes it off. So I kind of felt right from the get that Aquaman was a little bit too overpowered, and because of that, the stakes were not very high throughout the film. I never felt like he was in any real danger. Of course, there was also a scene in the film where he's actually stabbed by somebody, and I was kind of rectifying the fact that he was impervious to bullets, but at the same time, he could be stabbed, which is kind of weird. So, like I said, you kind of have to grade these films on a curve. And, the more you think about it, the more implausible they get. But, there's a reason why kryptonite was invented. And the reason kryptonite was invented was so Superman wasn't too powerful. And I felt like they could have used a little bit of that in this film. And if I have to make another criticism about the film, it's the fact that it was bordering a little bit on being too campy.
All right, now hold still.
Hey, what are you doing?
We need water. Near the closest source.
Show off. could have just peed on it.
I wouldn't say it was bad as something like Thor Ragnarok, but it was kind of getting to that point at several junctures in the movie. And it had some good jokes, don't get me wrong. And I can't say I'm totally disappointed that DC is going in that direction, considering what Zack Snyder did with the Batman versus Superman movie and the Justice League movie. I mean, he was pushing for dark, and I felt like in that regard, Marvel kind of set the tone for what a superhero movie should be. So I kind of felt encouraged that they were kind of moving to the lighthearted side of the spectrum. But at the same time, I don't want my superhero movies to be too campy. So, like I said, it didn't kill my enjoyment of the film, but I just felt like, with a movie like Aquaman, you're kind of starting in the hole from the get. So the fact that you would amp up the campiness is not going to reflect very well on the movie overall. But like I said, I enjoyed the movie. There's plenty of action. There's plenty of moments where I just found myself smiling. And like I said, the characters are all likable. There's nobody in the film that I felt did belong. Even Nicole Kidman, who I'm not the biggest fan of, was just a joy in this movie. Although I have to say, she's done a little bit too much Botox. Her face has a few problems in this region. But we won't get into that. Overall, I enjoyed her performance. But that's pretty much all I have to say about it. You probably, like most people, you were gonna see this film whether or not it got good reviews. But so it's probably, encouraging that I actually like the film if you're looking to me for some kind of guidance. So I'll just leave it at that. And I have to say, it's worth the price of admission. But I wouldn't go into this film drinking too much because it's very, very long. It's got to be a solid 2 hours. I read on Fandango that it was actually 2 hours and 23 minutes, but I think they were kind of including the trailers at the beginning in that. So anyway, that's pretty much all I got for today. And like I've requested in the past, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'm only going to get better as I do this longer. So make this your one stop for all your reviews, whether they're television or movies. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. And I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.